All right, ready?
Hey guys, welcome to our review of Avengers Endgame. I saw it yesterday at the time of this video. Mom, you saw it 2 days ago at the time of this video. The way we're going to start it out probably is give impressions without spoilers, I think is normally how we do it, and then we'll jump into spoilers after that. Just starting off, I guess I'll say, thought it was a good movie, definitely a Marvel quality movie. I don't feel like any expense was spared, CG was good. I think it was a good movie. I don't think it's the best Marvel movie. Personally, I thought that Infinity War was better than Endgame. I think this wraps up a lot of things nicely though. It's cool to think where they're going to go now. It kind of seems like they weren't afraid to do some things that are really going to mix things up too.
Okay, so Avengers is just completely done, but not Marvel. Is that
No, Avengers is never technically done.
So a lot of the characters though in Avengers, like their contracts were over and they just don't want to make any more movies. Is that the deal?
I mean,
we don't know.
From what I know of the comics, I'm pretty sure that like the Avengers is a continuous thing, but the members of Avengers is like constantly changing. So like this might be the timeline where like technically Captain America's in charge of it, but next it could be.
Because aren't there going to be like more Spider-Man movies?
Yeah.
What about like Ant-Man?
They have another Spider-Man movie already planned. That's what, Away From Home? Spider-Man is it Away From Home or something? Which already was announced before
Endgame.
Okay. But we know it takes place after Endgame happens.
Oh, that's cool.
So there was
the
already
story
like
continues,
oh yeah, the Marvel universe is not
That's good, because at first I was sad, like almost like when I knew Twilight was the very last movie, and I was like, it's over. So
they're literally printing money right now. It'd be so stupid for them.
Oh, so they made the announcement today. They broke the record. It made $1 billion in opening weekend.
And they broke,
Sunday's
like,
not even over yet.
They broke like opening night record for Star Wars. I think it was like 60 million, and maybe they got like 100 million or something like that. And one just like that Thursday night that it came out. So on a Thursday night, that many people went and saw this.
I wonder if like the actors get any bonuses for that, or if that money all just goes to like Marvel.
Oh, I guarantee their contracts are pretty. Because how important are they to the movie? Like they aren't signing like, hey, you get a bulk sum. It's, hey, you're getting this, and whatever the movie makes, you'll get some percentage of that, I'm sure. Yeah. They'd be pretty stupid not to.
So you didn't like it as much as Infinity Wars, but you did like it. So what do you rate it out of 10?
If I were to give like Infinity War, like, let's say I'll say that's like a 9.7, I'd say this is like probably a 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably 9. I felt like it was really, really good, but not like the best movie ever. Like, I don't really know what was better than it. I wouldn't know what to compare it to, but I didn't feel like at the end like, oh my gosh, best movie ever. Right. But it was good. There was nothing
that's the thing is like, we're still giving it a 9. Like it's just like you come to expect this stuff from Marvel, and it's like it is a Marvel. Like I said, it's a Marvel quality movie. It's just I think there's been better Marvel movies, and Infinity War to me was just.
And with not getting into any spoilers yet, I feel like there wasn't really anything that they did in the movie that was like, wow, like. Not any one moment, even the main basis of the movie.
Really? I thought there was a ton of twists where I was like,
really?
Wow, really? They weren't like in your face? I don't know, we'll have to get into spoilers and then I can explain it. So what are you saying your score is?
I would say 9, and every thought in my head contains spoilers, so I don't want to like get into anything and ruin it for you guys. I don't think anyone's watching a movie review of Avengers thinking, oh, should I go see it? Of course you should go see it.
I think we both agree you should go see it.
Absolutely go see it.
It's going to define this generation of movies for sure. So we're both giving it a 9. We're both saying go see it. And now, if you have not seen the movie, stop watching, go see it, come back, because we're going into spoilers.
Yeah, that's the fun part. All right, ready, go.
I think we're going to have to talk about it like one step at a time. So you got like the beginning of the movie. It takes place literally like immediately after Endgame after Infinity War.
It was 5 years later.
No, it was 22 days, because then remember, because Captain Marvel snags what's her name, Nova and Tony in space, brings them back down.
At the very beginning. That's right.
Then they figure out where Thanos is. He's on like his little farm.
Yeah.
They go to get him, and then this was the first big twist that I thought happened was he was like, I destroyed the Infinity Stones.
Right.
I was like, what are they
Why
doing
would he
now?
do that?
Because, well, he said something like, it will cause nothing but temptation.
Okay.
So it's like, he wanted to get rid of him. He messed himself up real bad. That was the first twist. That was, I was like, wow, really? I'm like, where's this movie going now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're going to have to do something with him. And then Thor killed him like
just like
that.
Yeah, and you were
he
like,
just like got angry,
what?
took his head clean off. And I was like, okay. I'm like, that to me was like when I first realized, okay, they're playing high stakes. Because I thought maybe they were just going to kill Tony out in space right then.
You knew he died in this movie?
I had a pretty good idea.
Okay.
I had a pretty good idea that Tony and Captain were done.
Okay, I thought Captain America would have died because any of the research or things I've read, Captain America is pretty much everybody's favorite. My favorite is Iron Man, but I was surprised that they killed Iron Man and Captain America
he's
lived.
done though.
They're both done.
Yeah. I mean, he at the end of the movie, he's now like what, probably like 80 years old.
Yeah.
Because he went back in time
and
then lived his life.
Okay.
Because he wanted to be with Peggy, the girl that he was
back
with.
in like the 70s.
Yeah, when he got turned into Captain America. So
okay, so that was a major moment, the killing of
And
Thanos.
then it did the 5 years time skip, which was another time. I'm like, man, they're actually playing high stakes. Like things are really happening here.
Yeah.
So then it moved, and then Tony as a kid, which I thought was crazy.
Yeah, all that was super, super cute. I'm so glad they had that whole, because they could have easily taken that out and it wouldn't have mattered.
But I feel like it added to his story so much more, because at the end of the movie when he is dead, and you like I would have definitely felt sad if he died normally, but the fact that he died and now there's a kid that he's left now who like
exactly, because I told KK, I'm like I held it in, I didn't cry until he said in that stupid video, love you 3,000.
Yeah, like, that was cheesy. I got a little sad when he's like I'm gonna get you all the burgers you want or something like that because of Tony.
Yeah, that was cool.
We're jumping a little too far, which we're gonna keep doing. But then
we're gonna be all over the place.
After that, Ant-Man came back from the quantum realm, which you never saw because you never saw Ant-Man 2, right?
No, I did.
Okay, so you knew he was in there. He came back. He had no idea anything had even happened. So he
played a major part in this movie.
He was the one who kind of kick-started everything.
Yes.
Because otherwise, it kind of seemed like they were just going to be content
How were they going to figure this
happening.
out? Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so let's go on that topic, because to me, that was the main thing of the whole movie, was this time travel thing. I really didn't like that.
No, I didn't either, because I feel like it turned the movie into a drama rather than, because they went back in time and they went back to, let's see, they went to New York where there was 3 gems there at the time, because there was the Tesseract. It went back to the first Avengers with Loki.
Yep.
They had 2 gems, and then the Doctor Strange, the girl who was before Doctor Strange, who gave Doctor Strange his training and such. So they went back, got those. And that was another thing. Is like Hulk is definitely my favorite character and they played him so dirty.
Why was he like so dumb?
He was
and like dingy.
He's stuck in Hulk form, but he can talk, act normal,
and he was like macho, taking pictures like a celebrity.
Yeah,
I didn't like that
because
story.
I like the Hulk, like mean, like plays dumb, talks stupid. And I know in the comics technically he becomes like Dr. Hulk or whatever. Like technically he stays in like Hulk form.
Oh, okay.
But he's still like in the Marvel universe like can reach God levels of strength because he has an infinite amount of power and he does nothing. He does nothing except the snap to bring everyone back.
He puts the thing on.
Yep, he snaps.
But he didn't get it to...
No, he brought everyone back.
He did?
Yep.
No, Tony did.
No, Tony killed all of... he brought everyone back because remember Hulk fried his arm all the way up his face. And then and then he has the one scene where he's holding the building up while...
That's right.
War Machine and Rocket Raccoon are like about to get drowned, and then Ant-Man shows up. But I still feel like for Hulk, like I thought he was gonna have a big redemption story because he got the crap kicked out of him in the beginning of Infinity War. Then he couldn't turn into the Hulk later on in the movie because the Hulk was upset that he got beat up.
Right.
And then it was like nothing. Yeah. He did nothing. I thought he was going to have a huge fight with Thanos at the end. He didn't fight Thanos at the end. And then, so then they going back, Ant-Man comes back, tells him, hey, if we do time travel, we can go back, get the gems. The way that he's doing it doesn't work, which I feel like the comedy was almost more, it missed more than in the other Avengers movies.
Yeah, and the comedy parts were really good. I remember right when they were starting to figure out the theory of how they were going to make the time travel work. I don't remember the lines, but there were some of them that were so funny. I'm like,
you mean when they kept saying Ant-Man back, where he came back as like a baby?
Oh yeah,
and he's like, I can't tell if I peed my pants, old man peed my pants, or baby peed my pants.
I was dying laughing. I'm like, they needed more of that throughout the whole
because
movie.
I feel like they normally do weave comedy in pretty well, but I don't think they did it that well in this movie.
Once Hulk got everybody to come back, and then they had to fight Thanos again, and the whole part with his daughter and the robot daughter.
Yeah, it got really
serious.
Yeah,
there was nothing funny.
Like I said, I feel like this movie was more of a drama than any of the other Avengers movies have been. Yeah. Like even when they were traveling back in time, there was really no fighting, right? I mean,
no, not really. Everything
Captain America, like fought Captain America, but then when they went back in time to get it again, it was just Tony meeting his dad. It was Captain America seeing the girl that he loved, Peggy, from back in the day.
But think about it, Iron Man got all the like emotional parts.
I think it was because they were ending him. They kind of wanted to do like a farewell.
He's just the best actor of all. I'm sorry.
I think he is. Oh, and they killed Black Widow too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson's out too.
I
never saw her.
I mean, I guess you need the girl. I get it, but I really feel like she was really like, who was her family? What was her life outside of Avengers? I don't even know anything about her. But I think she has a solo
movie coming up.
How's that possible?
It's going to be like a prequel.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure she has a solo movie.
What's her name again?
Scarlett Johansson?
No, the
Black Widow?
Black Widow. I was going to say Catwoman, but I knew it wasn't Catwoman.
I mean, she's similar, I guess. Yeah. That whole part of the movie, to me, kind of dragged. I didn't think it needed to be a 3-hour-long movie because it just kept hopping between, like, them going back and doing these things. And it was cool to see, like, Tony see his dad.
Yeah.
The whole Hulk talking to get the time stone from the magic lady, that whole part was so stupid. Yeah. They hung on it for way too long.
And I thought it was really cool at the fighting scene. Like Black Panther came.
You mean
like,
at the end?
Yeah, I think jumping all over. I liked all that, but why didn't they make that a little bit more part of the movie? It was so like they were there, but there really wasn't any. They could have really got some good comedy out of that.
All of them had like their own individual fight scene though. I think it was one of the best fight scenes in only comparable to like the war at the end of Infinity War. This was like the same thing, but it was like it was almost better because it was like all of a sudden everybody's there again. For the whole movie you were just watching the small group of the Avengers. And then all of a sudden everyone showed back up and Spider-Man was back, and then Spider-Man had the really cool scene with Tony where they hugged each other because, you know, Tony was so sad that he had lost Spider-Man to begin with. Right. And he was so happy that he came back. That was really cool.
I was surprised that Captain Marvel didn't play a bigger part in the movie, that she was absent for 90% of it.
I was talking to the guys about that, and I feel like it's because they backed themselves in a corner because she is so strong. Like, what can really beat
it would have ended the war.
She showed up and
earlier.
She destroyed Thanos' ship in like 5 seconds. That's true. She came through, destroyed everybody, and then another part of that fight that really bugged me was the fact that Captain America could use Mjolnir, Thor's hammer.
Oh yeah,
that was so
I didn't
stupid
understand what the purpose of that was.
I guess not in mythology it doesn't work this way, like the normal Mjolnir from Norse mythology, but in the movies I guess they described it as whoever is deemed worthy by the hammer itself. And then that's why Thor's like, oh, I knew it. Like I knew he was going to be the one.
I didn't understand why he said that.
But there was a good comedy scene because it was sweet at first when Thor had Stormbringer and Mjolnir and he was like using both at once. And then Captain America picked it up and they were fighting and they were kind of like switching swords, and then they stopped and Captain America had Stormbringer and Thor had Mjolnir, and he's like, no, you take the small one. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't understand why Captain America could use Mjolnir. I feel like it made, and they really did Thor dirty in this movie too. Like they made him like this
drunk,
fat drunk guy.
Loser kind of.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be like a god.
Yeah, like why did he turn? What was his whole thing of getting so depressed?
Because he was the one who had the chance to kill him, and he didn't do it.
Oh, okay.
So I think
I guess that makes sense, but I don't know. I would have rather had him turn like mean and evil,
almost like what Hawkeye
like,
did.
Yeah.
I actually thought Hawkeye's storyline wasn't too bad because Hawkeye is kind of boring, honestly, to begin with. But they made him pretty interesting by turning him into like this sword anti-hero.
And that was such a quick moment in the movie, but yet I feel like they showed way more of Thor's like story.
Yeah.
But Hawkeye was like this.
But when Thor got to see his mom again, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that part was cool.
Thor got to see his mom again. And like I said, but that just kind of makes it lean towards drama again because there was no action. It was just a lot of like talking in the past. Yep, like emotional, like tugging heartstrings. To me, I thought like, man, there's just going to be like this all-out battle war type deal. And I guess you are talking like the end fight scene probably was way longer than we thought because the movie itself was so long.
Yes.
So at the end,
probably a good 20 minutes or
sure. So. Yeah, and like Spider-Man's fight at the end was really cool when he was like zipping around with the gauntlet and like he had all the arms come out and he was fighting like everybody at once. That was pretty cool.
I like Spider-Man a lot too.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man's probably becoming my favorite now. I think he plays Peter Parker really well.
He does.
Like that innocent little kid who's just like happy to be a part of the Avengers.
Yeah, I like him and Ant-Man together because they're funny.
Yeah. I think Paul Rudd also plays Ant-Man really well.
Yes.
Where he's like actually like a genius, but he plays stupid so well.
Yep.
Like, oh yeah, that was the joke that they kept beating to the ground, but I thought it was funny every time when they kept talking about how like time travel can mess things up, and they kept bringing up all the movies, and he kept getting so upset that Back to the Future, the rules from Back to the Future didn't apply. He's like, don't talk to your old self, don't bet on any games. So he's like, so you're telling me everything that I learned from Back to the Future isn't true?
That was funny.
I feel like that was pretty good.
More comedy. That would have been the...
No, it was so heavy-handed. Everything was so like it was trying, but I think they did that on purpose because I think they're like doing like a soft reboot. Like I don't know who's gonna run it now.
Maybe,
I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be like Hawkeye, but Captain America gave his shield to the guy who plays what's his name? Falcon. He plays the Falcon, and like he's gonna become
somebody.
And I heard that like there's a chance that like Tony's daughter is gonna be like the next Iron Man or something like that, like Iron Woman.
Speaking of which, I didn't like the whole Gwyneth Paltrow, his wife, putting on
the suit.
That just seems so...
But if you remember, I think if you go back to like maybe Iron Man 3, he like made her a suit and said like, hey, this is to keep you safe. But it was cool because they kind of foreshadowed it. Because remember when you first met his daughter, she was in the tent and she had her mask, and he's like, oh yeah, your mother never wears anything I give her anyways.
I would not be surprised if there aren't maybe more recordings that Iron Man made for her that's gonna like teach the daughter everything he knows, and maybe they will turn her into something.
Which would be kind of cool, but I don't think she'll play Iron Man as well as he does. It'll be a different dynamic. Iron Woman is what I think it is now, because I think it's actually like a black 20-year-old girl in the comics right now.
So do they have to follow the comics?
No,
Is that
they don't follow the comics at all. Like I don't think, like even Stormbringer, the axe that what's his name has, Thor has, he never has those in the comics. That's like from another guy.
Okay.
And like the whole Groot thing with the arms. So they are taking a lot of liberties, which is nice because I feel like it targets comic fans, but it also targets like the normal viewer, because comic fans aren't like, oh, you aren't following this, but like a normal viewer can just go watch and get their own storyline anyways. They're smart about it, and it was actually a really good movie.
It was. I would look forward to watching it again.
Right, but I would just want it to like watch at my own pace though, not be stuck in a movie theater. No. Like I'm gonna watch it on my couch at home.
Yes.
Like it's a hard movie to sit through because I think the beginning is so slow.
It is, but it's got important parts.
Oh, it's important. There's not there's not a wasted second in this movie. Something's always happening. Like when they first meet Captain Marvel, like that moves pretty quickly actually, because they go right to Thanos. Thanos dies, and then they do like that 5-year break. But it's just,
there was a lot that happened in the first hour of the movie, because I remember looking at the time like, wow, it's only been an hour and so much had happened.
And then I feel like when they do the time travel, it just slows down so much.
You know what part I felt like drug out too was the whole Thanos robot daughter, and I don't really know a lot about.
Isn't it Nova, or am I? Whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever with those 2 girls and all that. I didn't really care for any of that.
Did you watch Guardians of the Galaxy though? I mean, it kind of plays on the thing about how like Gamora and her used to hate each other, which that was a funny scene too, when Peter Quill saw Gamora again, and he was like so happy, and then she kicks him in the nuts, and he like doesn't react at first, and then she slaps him and kicks him again. And he's like, oh, the first time you didn't catch either of my balls, but the second time you got both of them, and he's just laying on the ground.
That reminds me, so the raccoon, Rocket, he's the only one that really carried comedy through the whole movie.
Yeah, but I feel like he always does.
He's funny.
Yeah.
I love his scenes.
Yeah, I think he did. His part was played really well. He stayed like very true to character, whereas I feel like a lot of the characters kind of like changed a little bit. Like Hulk being his.
They were all so changed by
what happened, which makes sense. Yeah, in context of the story, but it's like you want to see those characters that you've grown to love. You know what I mean?
We could keep talking for an hour.
It's like a podcast.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking forward to, I don't know, something's got to take this place, because you just look forward to these movies every year.
Yeah, from what I've read, there's quite a few storylines that they can go on now that like this Thanos arc is over. Like there's other big threats.
I don't think they'll ever break this record again though. The $1 billion.
Probably not, because you just got rid of 2 of your biggest actors, unless they can replace them with someone who's
family members or
just
something.
So charismatic, because it's like you're not Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. It's like I can't imagine anyone else playing those roles. That's so deeply ingrained. So now it's cool because Disney actually just got signed over to the rights to X-Men, and X-Men technically are a part of the Marvel universe. Like they should have been in these movies, but Fox has owned the right to it. Because like technically like Spider-Man in the comics is in X-Men for a while, and it's like, so it'll be cool. I mean, they have a lot of places to still go. This is it's the end of this storyline, but I think it's just like a new start type deal.
All right, guys, well hopefully you enjoyed our review, and you'll have to comment below what your favorite part of the movie is, what you rate it out of 10, if you liked it or not, and anything that maybe you didn't like about it. So.
Yeah, like we said, even though I think we focused maybe on a lot of the negative things, it was still a really good movie. I'm sure we'll see it again.
It's the easiest thing to talk about, is the stuff that you would do differently if you made the movie.
Yeah, so it was a good movie. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it for sure. I'm sure it's showing at every movie theater in the world right
every
now.
Hour.
Yeah, every 20 minutes. So. Like Mom said, thanks a ton for watching, guys. If you enjoy these reviews, make sure you thumbs these videos up so we will continue to do them in the future, and we will talk to you guys later. See ya.
Bye.